Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about the political spectrum. Now, before I go into the explanation of the meaning of this, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. Now, when we're talking about the political spectrum, there's a lot to cover here. Now, generally speaking, to make this very simple, when we're talking about the political spectrum, we can view it as a horizontal line. On the left side, we're looking at you have left wing ideologies, and on the right side, you have right wing ideologies. Generally speaking, you have conservatives on the right, and then on the left side, you have more liberal thinking. You have the Democrats. On the right side, you have the Republicans. Generally speaking, on the left side, you're looking at more government control, government intervention, in social issues, economic issues. In its extreme forms, government kind of becomes the big brother, really governing society. On the right side, you do have more self-reliance, self-independence, people creating their own businesses, free markets, less government use, small government, not big government. And on the right side, it's when you give that much freedom, conservatives believe that it's better for the economy, better for businessmen to create business, to innovate, and help society move along. On the left side, you have more social net, creating a social net, creating a social structure for people. At its extreme, on the left side, again, you have the Democrats, you have liberal thinking, the liberals. You also have, in its very extreme forms, you have socialism, different types of socialism, and you can go all the way to Marxism and communism. When pretty much the government runs everything. So you would put China left wing thinking because China is communist. So it's on that far end where you have communism and no private ownership of anything. The government owns everything, and everybody is equal on the same basis. You're not going to have people going and owning multi-billion-dollar companies. Not one person at the top kind of thinking. That's at the very far end, communism, and it's not really the thing that most countries go for. Socialism for most people, every country I would say has a type of socialism. When we're looking at government programs, all types of programs to help the poor, to go against poverty. A lot of times, some people will say that is socialism, where the government steps in to feed people, to give people shelter, and to pretty much pay for everything for people. So you have different forms of socialism, limited socialism, or you can go into full socialism. And different thinkers, different think tanks have different things that they associate with socialism. But more generally speaking, we're talking about the left side. We're talking about Democrats. We're talking about progressive thinking ideologies. We're talking about liberal ideologies. We're talking about social justice. We're talking about the social net, or the government net. If you fall and you have no money, the government will step in to help you, to provide a safety net for the most vulnerable, and even for the people at the top. If you fall too far down, on the left side, the idea is that the government will provide a way in which for you to climb back up, or for you to go into a place where you're not, at the bottom of the barrel. On the right side, and you can go into libertarianism, and you can go into authoritarianism. That's the far ends, and also you have things like the alt right. But generally speaking, on the right side, you're looking at conservatives, mainstream conservatism. We're talking about family values, self-independence, self-reliance, free markets. Less taxes. We're talking about Republicans. We're talking about beliefs about the individualism. We're talking about that. So it's more dependent on you to build yourself up, not the government to build you up. Again, I usually say when you think about the right side, I always say get a job. Right, when you think about the right side of the right side of the spectrum, it's more into you do have a government, but you are responsible for yourself. Get a job, make a business, build yourself up. Don't rely on the safety net. Don't rely on the social net to carry, to coddle you. Don't rely on the hammock. the social hammock. So that's the right side. Again, I'm making it very simple here to make it understandable. But on the right side, you do have those types of thinking: self-independence, self-reliance, free markets, small government, limited government. And at its extreme, you're looking at authoritarianism. On the left side, you have the Democrats. Okay, again, on the right side, you have the Republicans. On the left side, you have the Democrats. You have some, free thinking, progressive thinking. On the left side, you'll have, the LGBTQ movements. You'll also have, again, this is why sometimes it gets confusing for some people, because there's some ideas that are not on the that sometimes you do find yourself. Let's say you're a conservative, but there's some ideas that you will go over to the left. It depends on the issue, it depends on the time period, it depends on the country. But sometimes on the left side, you have things in line with. The left side will support immigration. The left side will support, like, if you're an immigrant, you might support Democrats. A lot of immigrants that come from other countries, they usually do support Democrats, because Democrats are usually more free in allowing immigrants to come to the United States, and to come to countries. They're more free with social change, social movements. They're concerned with discrimination. They're concerned with those types of freedoms. But the thing is, with conservatives, it's not that they hate immigrants. It's not that they don't want immigrants. It's that they want it to be more gradual. They don't want it to be an extreme, unmanageable. You can't manage the amount of people that are coming into the country. It's more, conservatives are concerned with gradual change, slow change where you can think it over, see what's good, see what's bad. You want to slowly adapt, not abruptly. On the left side, it's more abruptly. It's right here and there. With immigration, with the LGBTQ movement, with other social movements. It's quick. It's quick. Adapting to different types of social movements, social justice. Again, there's things that are great about the left side when we're talking about civil rights, when we're talking about justice for marginalized groups. But at the same time, sometimes the changes happen so fast that you don't have time to really consider the good and the good and the evils of different movements and how they're moving so fast that you can't really even regulate them. So that depending on what part of the spectrum you're on and what you believe in, you can shift back and forth from the left into the right, because most people, that's how it is. This structure is not perfectly aligned. Depending on who you are or depending on what country you are in, different beliefs can be on different sides. But generally speaking, just to throw a broad view of the political spectrum, the left and the right are very different. On the left, you're looking at governments. At the far ends, you're looking at socialism and communism. On the left, on the right, you're looking at conservatism, mainstream conservatism. You're looking at libertarianism. You're looking at authoritarianism at its extremes, and also you have the alt-right. These different beliefs, again, different people have different beliefs depending where you start in life. If you were born in America, maybe you're more of a Republican, maybe you're more on the right. If you're born in a middle class family or a rich family, maybe you're more on the right. You want to conserve, you want tradition, you want self-independence, self-reliance, going to a good school, building yourself up, making your own money, not relying upon the government. So maybe you more lean on the right. If you're an immigrant, maybe you lean more on the left. You want some more. Maybe you didn't have a chance to make a lot of money. Maybe you don't have a great education, so you might want to support more government assistance, more government programs, more government benefits. You want to support more things on the left because it helps you out. Because maybe you're new in the country, you don't have the background, you don't have the family ties. But as soon as you start making money, one common idea, maybe it's a misconception, but especially in America, especially in the West, usually people who are in the middle class and maybe they have some money, maybe they have a good education, usually they're associated with the right, they're associated with Republicans, they're associated with conservatism. they're associated with liberties because if you have a lot of money, you built yourself up. You went to school, you started your own business, and so maybe you want more freedoms in your business. Maybe you want less government intervention, less taxes. You want more freedom to expand your business. Maybe you want to have your own independence and freedoms. And so because of your life experience, you lean more to the right. But if you're an immigrant, if you're in poverty, if you don't have that much money, maybe you lean more to the left, because in the left there's more social benefits, there's a social net, there's more government programs to help you out. And again, the left leans on more government assistance. That's why you have you have the liberals, you have the Democrats, and it's more extremes. You have the socialists, and then you go into the Marxists and communism. So that says a lot right there. So if you're at the bottom, if you're a proletariat, if you're at the bottom of the barrel, you might lean more left because there's more help for you there. But if you're more settled in life, you're more stable, maybe you lean more right, because you're a conservative. You want to build yourself up. You have money, you have the education, and so you more want to rely on yourself, self independence and things like that. So again, it really depends where you're coming from. It really depends on your values. Sometimes people who are poor are still lean on the right no matter what, and sometimes people who are rich still lean on the left no matter what. So it really depends at your core values, what you believe is more. Maybe you're more into social justice, and so you go to the left. Maybe you're more into family values, so you go more into the right. Maybe depending on the issue, you might flop. So again, it's not a rigid political spectrum. Depending on the issue, you can change your mind. And sometimes people vote Democrat, sometimes people vote Republican, sometimes people change their minds depending on the election, depending on who's running. So that's the thing with politics. Minds can be changed, minds can be open, minds can be flipped. It really depends on what you want to do. But that's a general idea of what the political spectrum is, its extremes, and what it entails. So that's what I have to say about it. That's a simplified explanation of it, to make it very clear of what this, the left. Because sometimes people are talking, they're like, "Oh, you're a left. You're on the left side of the spectrum. You're well, there's no really like an alt left, but maybe they call you an alt left, or maybe they call you an alt right, or maybe they call you a right thinking person or a left thinking person. With this simple explanation, you'll be able to more understand what they're talking about. Because if they're calling you a right thinking person, they're calling you a Republican, a conservative, a free thinking, free market type of person. If they're calling you a left person, or a left wing thinking person, then they're saying you're more of a maybe a Democrat, a liberal, a socialist, a person who believes in communism, things like that. If they call you an alt right, well, that's usually sometimes used as an insult. It's more of an insult, because you're like you don't like you don't like people. You don't like multiculturalism. You don't like diversity. You don't like people from different countries. Maybe you believe in white identity politics, and white nationalists, and you're associating with white supremacists. So you don't want to be in the alt right. That sometimes is used as an insult. So I hope that helps out. That's my summary. Well, no, that's my explanation of meaning of these terms of the political spectrum. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment. And I'll see you guys in the next video.